Imagine waking up, brushing your teeth and going to work.
Right.
But when you try to tell your friends about your morning in English, well, you sound exactly like a robot.
You do. You say like, I wake up, I brush teeth, I go to work.
Exactly. It feels stiff. It
No.
feels unnatural. So today we're going to fix that. Welcome to the deep dive.
It is great to be here.
We have a big stack of English lessons, games, and grammar guides on the table. And our mission today is to help you learn easy, natural English words.
We want to talk about a very important topic. We want to talk about your daily life.
Yeah, talking about your daily routine is, well, it's the absolute best way to practice simple English.
Why? Because a daily routine is something we all do every single day.
Right.
We all sleep, we all eat, and we all start a new day. So this is a topic everyone understands.
We are going to look at some fun stories from our sources today.
We will learn easy words, and we will learn some simple grammar tricks. This will help you share your day smoothly.
Without sounding like a machine.
Exactly, without sounding like a machine.
I am really looking forward to this. If we want to talk about our day, we have to start at the very beginning, the morning.
Let's unpack this part of the day first.
I am looking at a list of basic morning action words from our games and lessons. These are our starting verbs.
Let's hear them.
We have words like wake up, get up, take a shower, brush your teeth, make breakfast, and get dressed.
Those are perfect building blocks. But, there is a really important difference here. It confuses a lot of people learning English.
Ooh, what's words?
Well, wake up and get up are not exactly the same thing.
Oh, that is very true. Let's explain that to the listener. Wake up is just when your eyes open.
Right. You are still in bed. You're probably still tired.
Your brain is just starting to work.
Exactly. But get up is when your feet actually touch the floor. You leave the bed, you stand up.
You're starting the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is a big time difference between waking up and getting up.
I know there is a big time difference for me. I wake up, but I do not get up for a long time.
Me too. Let's see how real people use these words. I was reading a story from our sources about a man named Ben.
Okay, Ben.
Ben uses an alarm clock on his phone. His alarm goes off at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow. 6:30. That is a little bit early. Does he get up right away?
He doesn't. Ben usually hits the snooze button.
The snooze button.
Snooze is a fun word. It means you press the button to stop the noise. You do it just so you can sleep for 10 more.
10 more minutes, yeah. I hit the snooze button 3 times this morning.
A lot of people do. So after Ben finally gets up, he grabs a quick slice of toast. He eats his toast very fast, and then he rushes to work.
He hurries because he is running late. That sounds like a really stressful way to start the morning.
Very stressful.
Hitting snooze, eating fast, rushing out the door.
That right?
I prefer a calm morning.
Well, our sources also mention a woman named Anna. Anna has a totally different routine.
Does she rush?
She doesn't rush at all. She likes to stretch first thing in the morning, reaching her arms high up to the ceiling,
Oh, nice.
rolling her shoulders, making her body feel ready for the day.
Stretching is a really healthy habit. It wakes up your muscles slowly.
It definitely sounds better than rushing around eating toast.
We also found some very fun English phrases in a lesson called Level Up English.
What kind of phrases?
These are phrases native speakers use all the time to describe waking up. For example, if you like mornings, people might call you an early bird.
Oh, I like that phrase. Birds wake up very early in the morning to sing.
Right.
So if you are a person who likes the early morning, you are an early bird.
There are a few more phrases like this. You can say you wake up bright and early. That means you are awake when the sun is bright.
Or someone might say, rise and shine to you. It means stand up and have a lot of energy.
My favorite phrase from that lesson is waking up at the crack of dawn.
The crack of dawn. That is a good one.
The dawn is the very first light in the sky, right before the sun fully appears.
So the crack of dawn means that exact first second of light.
It is a very descriptive phrase.
Yeah.
We actually have a message from a listener named Tian Zhang about this.
Oh, really?
Yes, Tian Zhang recently changed to a brand new routine. Now, Tian Zhang is an early bird and wakes up at the crack of dawn.
Wow.
That is around 6:30 in the morning.
Waking up at the crack of dawn takes a lot of practice. It is a great routine if you want a quiet morning.
Okay, but here is where we run into the problem we talked about at the start.
The robot problem.
Yes, the robot problem.
Yeah.
For people learning English, putting these actions together can feel really difficult.
It can.
If I just say my actions out loud, it sounds like this. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I go to work.
It is just a list. It does not sound like a real natural story.
It sounds a little choppy. The sentences are too short. They are disconnected.
To fix this, well, we need special words to connect our actions. We do not just want a list of verbs.
We want our words to flow together.
Exactly. We need to build a bridge between the things we do.
Building a bridge. Okay, let's explore how we actually do that.
In our daily routines, games, and listening exercises, the lesson talks about sequence words.
Sequence words.
Sequence means putting things in the correct order. These words show time. The main sequence words are first, next, them, after, finally.
Next, then, after, finally. So if I use those, my robot sentences start to change.
Did you?
I could say, first I wake up, next I brush my teeth. That already sounds much better.
It sounds great. Today, we want to focus deeply on two very important sequence words. We will look at before and after.
Let's break down how to use them.
Okay. After means something happens next, later in time.
Right.
Before means something happened earlier, in the past.
Let's try some examples to make this really clear.
Let's look at some examples straight from the 123 listening audio files. These are real conversations.
What do they say?
In one audio clip, a person asks, "What did you do before you left home?" And the answer is, "I got dressed."
Okay, let's look at the time there. Getting dressed happened earlier, leaving home happened later. So you got dressed before you left home.
Yes. The action of getting dressed is in the first position, leaving home is in the second position.
Got it.
Here's another example from the same audio source. The person asks, "What did you do after you woke up?" And the answer is, "I washed my face."
Waking up is the first action. Washing the face is the second action. So you washed your face after you woke up.
You are putting the events in order. You are giving the listener a map of your morning.
I want to try an analogy to help picture this. Let's think of our simple action words as islands.
Islands, like in the ocean.
Yes, an island is a piece of land surrounded by water. Brush teeth is one island. Eat breakfast is a totally different island.
Okay, I follow you.
Sequence words, like before and after, are the bridges that connect the islands.
Oh, I like that image. The islands are just sitting there alone until you build the bridge.
Right. If you do not have the bridge, you cannot walk from one island to the next. You try to step from brush teeth to eat breakfast, and you just fall right into the water.
The sentence feels broken.
But if you say, I brush my teeth before I eat breakfast, you walk safely across the bridge.
The bridges make your speaking smooth. You are no longer a robot reading a list. You are a storyteller sharing your real life.
Like after I wake up, I brush my teeth. Before I leave the house, I eat breakfast. It feels completely natural.
It feels very natural. Now, there is another part to sharing our daily life.
What is that?
Because routines are habits, things we do all the time. We need to talk about how often we do them.
Oh,
But our sources highlight a very tricky grammar trap here. It is a spelling rule that confuses a lot of people.
I know exactly what part of the lesson you were talking about. We actually have a great question about this specific rule from a listener.
Oh, perfect. Who is it from?
This is from a learner named Yuna, who lives in Japan. Her question is featured in the VOA Learning English source.
What does Yuna ask?
Yuna asks about two words that sound exactly the same but are spelled differently. What is the difference between everyday, spelled as one single word, and everyday, spelled as two separate words?
It is a fantastic question. Honestly, many native English speakers get this wrong when they write.
They sound identical when you speak them.
They do, but in writing, they have totally different jobs in the sentence. Let's start with the first one. Every day is just one single word. All the letters are pushed together.
E-V-E-R-Y-D-A-Y, one word.
Every day, as one word, is a describing word. In grammar, we call it an adjective. You always put it right before a noun, a person, place, or thing.
What does it mean?
It means something is normal, common, or usual for you.
Can you give me a clear example?
Sure. Let's talk about clothes. You might have some fancy shoes you only wear to weddings, but you also have regular shoes. You can say, these sneakers are my everyday shoes.
Ah, I see. The sneakers are normal. They're common. I wear them a lot. I am describing the sneakers. They are my everyday shoes.
Exactly.
Another example from the VOA source is about a schedule. You can say, I have a busy everyday schedule.
Yes. The schedule is the noun. It is your normal, usual schedule. You are describing it.
Okay, so that is one word.
Now let's switch to the second spelling. Every day as two separate words. The word every with a space, and then the word day.
Every. Space. Day. Two words.
This form means each day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It tells us how often you do an action.
How often?
It usually comes at the very end or the very beginning of your sentence. For example, You say, I go to school every day.
I am not describing the school. I am telling you how often I go there. I do the action on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. I go to school every day. 2 words.
That is it. One word describes a normal thing. 2 words tell you how often you do an action.
I want to test this out. Let's do a quick quiz based on our sources.
I am ready. Let's hear the quiz.
We have another learner named Rakam. Rakam has a strict morning routine. He likes to start his morning by drinking black coffee.
Okay.
So, does Rakam drink black coffee every day as 1 word, or every day as 2 words?
Let me think through the rule. Rakan drinks coffee. Drinks is an action verb. We want to know how often he does this action.
Right.
Is it just Monday? Or is it all the time? It is all the time. It is each day. Because it tells us how often he does the action, it has to be 2 words. He drinks black coffee every day. Space in the middle.
Spot on. It is 2 words because it tells us the frequency, how often he drinks it.
Yes.
If we wanted to use the 1-word version, we would have to describe the coffee itself. We could say, black coffee is his everyday drink.
Exactly. Drink becomes the noun, and every day describes it. It is a tricky rule, but if you remember the difference between describing a thing and explaining how often an action happens, your writing will look perfect.
We have built a really strong foundation here. We have the basic action words for the morning. We know how to build bridges with sequence words like before and after.
And we understand the grammar rules for talking about how often we do things.
Now let's look at how people put all of this together. Let's see what a full story looks like.
This is the rewarding part. We can see how different people live and how they describe it. I have a story here from the reading activity in our sources. It is about a man named Mr. Miller.
Oh, I read about Mr. Miller. He is an English teacher, and he has a very packed schedule.
Listen to how his day flows.
First, he wakes up at 6 in the morning. He gets to school at 8 brunch. At noon, he eats lunch and talks with the other teachers.
That is a solid morning routine. He uses first as his opening bridge. How does the rest of his day look?
Well, after he gets home from work, he helps his 3 kids with their homework. His kids are Matthew, John, and Susie.
Wow, 3 kids.
Then he does some exercise and eats dinner. Before bed, he loves to watch travel shows on TV. Finally, he goes to bed at 10:00.
Notice how the story naturally moves forward. You used the sequence words perfectly.
Thank you.
You said after he gets home and before bed. Those bridges connect his work life to his family life and his family life to his sleep time. We get a clear picture of Mr. Miller's life without him sounding like a robot.
The bridges make it really easy to follow the timeline. Do we have another routine to look at?
We do. We have the story of Tom from the ESL Lounge lesson. Tom's life is a little different. He is a student, but he also has a job.
Okay, so he is busy too.
Very busy. First, Tom starts his classes at 9 in the morning. Later, he finishes his work at 4 in the afternoon.
So he is busy from 9.0 to 4.0. What does he do after work?
After work, he takes his dog for a walk. His dog is 4 years old. Then, in the evening, he usually reads a book or watches TV.
That sounds like a really nice, relaxing evening. Spending time with a dog is a great way to end a busy day.
It really is.
Speaking of relaxing, our sources have some excellent vocabulary words for the end of the day. When you finally finish work or school, you just want to rest.
Right.
In casual English, you can say you want to chill out.
Chill out is a great phrase. It just means to relax and do nothing stressful. Like, I had a hard day, I'm just going to chill out on the sofa.
We also have the phrase downtime. Downtime is the quiet time when you are not working or studying. It is your free time to recharge your batteries.
Everyone needs some downtime. Mr. Miller's downtime is watching travel shows. Tom's downtime is reading a book.
And what about the weekend? Routines change on Saturday and Sunday.
They definitely do.
On Sunday, I do not want to wake up at the crack of dawn. I do not want to get up early. I want to stay in my warm bed.
There is a specific phrase for that in the Level Up English source. It is called having a lie-in.
A lie-in.
To have a lie-in means you choose to sleep late into the morning. You do not set an alarm. You just stay in bed until you feel like getting up.
I absolutely love having a lie-in on Sunday mornings. It's my favorite way to chill out.
A good lie-in is the best reward after a long week of waking up early.
We have covered a really good amount of information today. Let's do a simple review of everything we talked about in this deep dive.
Think of it as a checklist for your own English practice.
First, we looked at basic morning words. We learned the difference between waking up when your eyes open and getting up when you leave the bed.
We talked about taking a shower and getting dressed.
Next, we learned the secret to sounding natural. We learned how to build bridges.
By using sequence words like before and after, we stop sounding like robots. We connect our action islands together so the story flows.
Then, we avoided a tricky grammar trap. We learned the difference between every day, one single word that describes a normal thing, like everyday shoes.
And every day, two separate words that tell us how often we do something, like drinking coffee every day.
Finally, we look at the real routines of Mr. Miller and Tom. We saw how they used all these words to paint a picture of their daily lives, from going to work to enjoying some downtime.
It is amazing how much of your life you can share with just a few basic verbs and some good bridges.
No.
Now we want you to practice this.
Yes, think about your own routine tomorrow morning. As you do things, try to mentally add a before or an after to your actions.
Think to yourself, before I drink my tea, I will brush my teeth. Or, after I put on my everyday shoes, I will leave the house.
Try to say your routine out loud. Connect the islands.
It really changes how you think about your day in English.
Before we finish, I want to leave you with one big thought to explore on your own. This idea comes from the online investigation part of the Randall's ESL source.
What is the idea?
Today, we learned how to describe your routine. We talked about your alarm clock, your breakfast, your house.
We focused entirely on your personal daily life.
But let's zoom out and think about the whole world. If you travel to another country, do you think people wake up at the same time you do?
They probably do not. The world is very different depending on where you go.
Exactly. In some countries, it gets too hot to work in the middle of the day, so people might wake up extremely early, at the crack of dawn, to do their jobs while it's cool.
Then they might take a long rest in the afternoon.
In other places, it stays dark and cold until late in the morning, so people might wake up later.
And think about breakfast. Not everyone eats hot toast fast, like Ben.
In some cultures, breakfast is a huge meal with rice, fish, or hot soup. Families sit down together for an hour before work.
In other cultures, breakfast is just a tiny cup of strong coffee while standing up.
What you eat, when you wake up, and how you spend your downtime. These are not just your personal habits.
No, your routine is heavily shaped by the culture you live in, the weather outside, and the history of your country.
It is a fascinating way to look at something as simple as a morning routine. We do things because the people around us do them. We follow the rhythm of our city.
So keep learning these new words, but also keep asking questions.
Try to find out what a morning routine looks like on the exact opposite side of the world from you. It is a massive world full of totally different mornings.
Maybe learning about someone else's routine will inspire you to change yours.
Maybe tomorrow you will wake up bright and early and try a brand new way to start the day.
There is always something new to discover.
Thank you for taking this deep dive with us. Keep practicing your words, keep building those bridges between your islands, and we will talk to you next time.